Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow Earth travelers. Obelix here, and today I want to take just a second to talk to you about the Melbourne Hawthorn. How y'all doing today? So real quick before we get into the video, do me a favor. If you're enjoying the content, you like the unboxings and the reviews, show a little love down there on that subscription button. I sure would appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. So, the Melbourne Hawthorn. This is our Watch Gang Black Tier subscription for the month of January 2019, our first watch of 2019. So, did they make up for the dog that came out in December? Let's take a look and see. By the way, quick wrist check. We are wearing said dog, the December 2018 Watch Gang Black Tier subscription, the GA Bracket Navi GLI. I said in the review of this watch, it would be the last time I wear this watch. Unfortunately, I always wear the previous month's watch in my unboxings. I forgot about that, and I had to put the dog on one more time. That's an offense to dogs. Yeah, it's worse than a dog. Anyhow, Melbourne Hawthorn. Take a look. Pop the cover. So inside the cover, we've got our warranty card. Nope, not a warranty card. Plastic. Love us. Here's what your warranty is, card, but no markings on it. Here we go with the Melbourne Hawthorn. Now this guy came in green. He is available in several other colors: blue, black, gray, and white. I'll tell you, the gray looks great, and I do like the white as well. I actually like those, I think, a little more than the green. Green is a little dark for my taste, quite frankly. So we will set this guy aside. And we will pull him off the pillow. So he's got a fold-over pressed metal clasp. Which you can see there. Alright, there we go. The Melbourne Hawthorn. Now this does come out of Australia, which is kind of cool. It's got a really interesting dial. Again, that kind of deep green color, it's almost a hunter green with a bit of a copper tone thrown in. It almost has that copper metallic-y feel when you get it out in the light. So it is a 3-dial chronograph with the standard watch seconds being down here at the 6 o'clock. The large sweeper is for the chronograph. And then, of course, you have your minutes and your tenths of seconds. Now, this guy is Meca-quartz. It's running the Seiko VK63 movement. Now, what Meca-quartz is, it's a quartz watch, so you get the accuracy of a quartz watch, which is far more accurate than most automatics. Not really than all automatics. But it just doesn't have that mechanical movement or the automatic rotor or, hands self-winding. But it gives you the feel of an automatic in the chronograph. So in a typical quartz chronograph, the second hand, will start counting down when you hit the top pusher. Then you hit the top pusher again, and it'll stop the movement. You hit the reset button down here, and it will slowly rotate back around, either backwards or forwards, usually forwards. In a Meca-quartz, same function. You hit the start button, it'll start counting. You hit the stop button, which is also the start button. It'll stop moving. You hit reset, and it snaps back instantly to the top, which is indicative of automatic chronographs. So we take a look at that in motion. So we start it. And these do have a good positive feel on the click, so you know whether you clicked it or not. We can see that red second hand sweeping around. I do like that it's almost like an anodized red, so there's a little bit of a shine to it. Looks good. It's not like a painted shine, like metallic paint, though it may be. It looks really nice, and they've got their little M on the end of the second hand. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop it down here. And we're going to go ahead and hit reset. Just watch that sucker fly that fast towards the top. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. See that? Instant back to the top. That is Meca-quartz. So the dial itself is sandwiched. So we've got the lower layer with the 3 complications. We've got some Melbourne branding on it. And we've got this kind of a crosshatch, basket weave almost, across it, which gives it some nice texture. Then we've got a raised platform here with our hour indices, very nice. Then we've got a chapter ring which is color matched to the rest of the dial. Unlike you, J Bracket. Yeah, just unlike you with your gray chapter ring and your green dial. So it really gives it a look of class. It just definitely looks nicer. And you see a lot of brushed surfaces for sure. But we've got these nice railroad tracks on this 5-link bracelet. We've got these nice polished railroad tracks. And of course, we've got some polish here on the crown, as well as down in the indices, things of that nature. So it is a branded crown, a standard 2-button pusher with a crown. It is a screw-down case back. We'll take a look at the rest of the bracelet. We've got a fold-over clasp. It is branded and polished down here, so that is going to scratch up as you wear it. So be aware, it's going to get a little dust rash on it. So we pop it open. Now it is a pressed metal clasp. That is going to bug some folks. That is not a milled clasp. So a little bit of a cheap out there. So we're going to give them a ding on the price point for that, I'm sure. Now, back here on the case back, we've got a nice case back. It's a nice etched building. I'll try to get you a good photo in there. I don't know what building that is. It's probably something in Melbourne, to be fair, but I'm not real sure which one it is. If you know, drop me a comment in the down yonder. So nice flat finish on the links back here. Makes it feel nice. Really good looking strap. Good weight to it. Solid links. It feels nice. It feels quality. Unlike some people I'm talking about over here. It's just a really good feeling bracelet. I like it a lot. In fact, the whole watch has an air of, kind of class and elegance to it. Granted, it's no, multi-$1,000 automatic, but they definitely put some time and effort into making it nice. So one thing they were not was cheap on links. I have a 7-inch wrist, pretty good size wrist. You see all, that's a lot of links. Typically, I take 3 links out of my watch on steel bracelets. Most of the time, that's what I got. Look how many extra links I had to pull off of this sucker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional links. If you got a big old wrist, you're probably going to be able to wear this. This is a good extra 2 inches off of this watch. So if this is a 7, so you can wear it up to about 9 inches, which is huge for a watch. And most time manufacturers don't provide anywhere near that amount of links. And most time I pull off 3 links, which is about 1 inch. So it goes from 8 inches to 7 inches. But they gave us 9, which is really super generous. So let's pop this guy on the wrist. We will take off for the last time the J bracket. Hallelujah. Oh, my wrist thanks me. And we will pop on the Melbourne Hawthorn. And we do have some micro adjust down here. That's nice to have. And there you go. On the wrist, you can see it's a good wrist filler. It's fairly large, but good looking. Again, I would prefer the gray, I think, to the green. Green doesn't do it for me, but I do like green as a color. I just don't necessarily like that color green. Something about it. But it's not a knock on the watch by any means. They did offer other colors, and if I was buying it through something other than a blind subscription service, I could have picked the color I wanted. So I'm not going to fault Melbourne for that. Not too thick, not too thick. Good looking piece. Let's get it on the scale and calipers and take a closer look at what it really is. I've been asked, why do I do the scale and not just report what the manufacturer says? It's because I don't trust manufacturers. Some of them lie, though I'm betting this one's probably going to be pretty reasonable. So ounces, 4.8. Go over to grams for our European viewers, and we're 137. So no lightweight for sure. It's a lot of steel, but no super heavyweight either. We'll take a look at sizing. Pop the calipers out, zero them out, and across to the crown we are looking at a 45. Across the dial, a 42.5. Lug to lug, you're looking at about a 49. And then thickness, it's relatively thin. We're looking at an 11.3. So, pretty slender, which definitely helps in some weight reduction. Alright, they tell me it's sapphire. Let's take a look. We've got our diamond selector here. Remember, we've got it on 1 pip. If it were glass, it'll stay on 1 pip. If it were sapphire, this is gonna, all the LEDs are gonna light up and it's going to start beeping at us. So let's take a look. It is most definitely sapphire. Check that out. Absolutely 100%. So good job there. It will hold up to scratches. Though remember, sapphire is a little more brittle for cracking than mineral glass. But it is definitely a lot more resistant to scratches. So what would you use this piece for? Well, it's definitely a sports watch. A going out on the weekend watch, a wear around the office watch. The lume on it's pretty decent. I'll pop a lume shot in. You've got it on the hour and minute hands and the indices. You're not going to be using the chronograph at night with lume. I do have some pieces that will do that, but not this piece. It is absolutely a fantastic chronograph, a well done chronograph. You can easily see all the indices around the sides. So no problems with following along to see what it is doing here. I think I said earlier that this 3 o'clock complication was a tenth of seconds. I can't remember if I said that or not, but it is definitely a 24-hour indicator. Then you have your minute indicator at the 9 o'clock for the chronograph, and then your standard second hand for the watch itself down here at the 6 o'clock. No date complication on this guy. So what would I change on this if Melbourne came to me and said, hey, Obelix, we're going to do a 2.0, we'd love your input. Well, what I would change, not a huge fan of this green. I would definitely lighten that green up a little bit. Though I'm not, I could be convinced otherwise. If you're like, hey, it's selling great, or we really love it, okay, I could live with it. It's just not for me, but that's a personal taste. Other than that, there's really not much else I would replace other than potentially replacing this press clasp for a milled clasp. That is going to up the dollar figure on the watch for sure. But I think it's worth it. You got a really nice stylish piece here, and that definitely adds, to it, adds to the value of it. Other than that, I think it's a good piece. I might polish this bezel just to go with the railroad tracks you got here, give it a little bit more polish. But I wouldn't go ham with the polish, just maybe a little bit. Possibly instead of the bezel, maybe do a little chamfer right here, little beveling on the edge, and then polish that bevel a little bit. Now you do have a little bit around the side right here, but it doesn't show from the head on. It only shows from the side on. So a little something more from the face on, and I think that would help a little bit. So what is the MSRP? Well, they measure it in Australian dollars. I think it's 495 Australian dollars, which right now translates to about 354 US dollars. It's definitely too much for this piece. For a quartz chronograph, it's definitely too much. I do think it's a quality piece. I do think they've earned a fair price with building a quality piece, minus the pressed metal clasp. Other than that, everything else feels quality, it looks quality. But I do think 350 is a little bit high. I would probably shoot for below 200. Between 150 and 200, I would range it in there. So remember, this was our Black Tier subscription for January 2019. Black Tier is a $99 investment. You're, according to Watch Gang, guaranteed to watch between $150 and $500. So I do think they met the mark on this one. I'm pleased with this one. Again, I would have swapped the color out myself, but that's what you get with a blind subscription service. You get the color they give you. So, I don't have a problem with this being in the Black Tier. I think it was a reasonable choice, unlike the J bracket that we got last month, which definitely should not have been in the Black Tier. So this has been the Melbourne Hawthorn, our Watch King Black Tier subscription for the month of January 2019. I sure do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me, as always. And until next time, you guys get out there and make some noise. See ya.